Hey guys, it's Rich from Rerun Zone. I grew up with the Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies cartoons. Iconic characters like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, and Roadrunner were all a part of my Saturday morning childhood. But there was one other major Warner Brothers cartoon character I want to talk about today that deserves more respect. It's a character whose famous stutter was inspired by his voice actor's real-life speech impediment. That character? Well, none other than Porky Pig. From his debut in the 1930s to becoming a household name, Porky's journey isn't just about the character's evolution, but also a fascinating look at the history of animation itself. You see, Porky was one of the first characters to bring Warner Brothers into the cartoon limelight. He went from a supporting character in his first cartoon to one of the shining stars of the golden age of animation. Porky was created by the legendary Friz Freleng and further developed by Bob Clampett. His first appearance was in the 1935 animated short, I Haven't Got a Hat, which was directed by Freleng. The character was introduced in a minor role, but quickly became popular, leading to a more prominent place in the Looney Tunes series.
Listen, my children, and you shall hear the midnight ride
The creation of Porky Pig was influenced by studio head Leon Schlesinger's suggestion to create a cartoon reminiscent of the popular Our Gang films. The name Porky Pig came from two brothers who were childhood classmates of Friz Freleng, named Porky and Piggy. The man originally chosen to do the voice of Porky was Joe Dougherty, who had a stutter in real life. But Dougherty had trouble controlling his stutter, and that made recording sessions take a lot longer, resulting in high production costs. As a result, the producers replaced him with Mel Blanc in 1937 in Porky's Duck Hunt, which was also the first appearance of Daffy Duck. It was Blanc's first starring role for Warner Brothers, and he continued to use Porky's stutter after he took over, toning it down a bit. It soon became Porky's trademark.
Boy, here's a honey of a trick to teach my pooch. And this is a keen one. And gee, here's another. Oh, baby, I can hardly wait.
When Warner Brothers hired Tex Avery in 1935, the first short he directed was titled Gold Diggers of 49, about the California gold rush in 1849, and he used Porky again as a secondary character, but he turned Porky from a little boy to a fat adult pig. Even with a supporting role, though, Porky got most of the laughs. Interestingly, Porky stuttered in a deeper voice in this one, as his character was not yet fully formed.
Get that bag for me. You can have my daughter.
But let's talk a little about the censorship of Porky here, as this was the first time his cartoons would be censored over the years. The original cartoon, which was black and white, won't be found on broadcast television today, as it had some racist and stereotypical gags included. It was common practice in the cartoons of that period to include racist caricatures, and this cartoon was no exception. It was later edited and recolored in 1995 for Nickelodeon, with those particular gags totally removed, although Cartoon Network, to its credit, aired both the original and the colorized versions uncut for a while. Besides Gold Diggers of 49, there was another little gem of cartoon from 1938 starring a young Porky Pig just before they settled into his more well-known persona. The cartoon, titled Holy Smoke, has been censored, edited, and colorized, making it a very different cartoon today than the original black and white. The story revolves around a young Porky Pig and begins when Porky is tempted by the allure of smoking. The episode is basically an anti-smoking cartoon aimed at kids, a theme ahead of its time considering the widespread use of tobacco in those days, even among doctors. On the surface, you might think the cartoon was censored for young Porky's use of tobacco, but that's not the case. It's been censored due to its use of blackface characters, which was also common at the time. Porky comes across a local bully furiously puffing on a cigar. The bully accuses Porky of being a wimp, and to prove he's not a wimp, he gives the bully a nickel for his cigar. Porky starts to puff on the cigar, and anyone who's tried smoking as a young boy knows what happens next. Porky's head starts to spin, and he stumbles down the street, sick from the smoke. He starts to hallucinate, and he ends up on the floor at a smoke shop with an imaginary smoke creature called Nick O'Teen standing over him. In a hazy dream sequence, Porky finds himself in a world where all things related to smoking, Cigars, cigarettes, and pipes have come to life. They sing, they dance, and they intimidate him, giving the episode a surreal and eerie atmosphere.
It's no fun to smoke just one. Take 6 at a stroke. Fume and fuss and sizzle.
Children should not smoke raw.
Here we come across the first altered scene from the episode, as 4 matchsticks strike themselves on a matchbox and are suddenly in blackface, singing in the style of the Mills Brothers, a black quartet who were very popular back then.
You shouldn't smoke, you shouldn't smoke, you shouldn't smoke.
This scene was completely cut on Nickelodeon and later colorized on the Cartoon Network, so the blackface was turned into the color red. Technically, blackface is when non-black people paint their faces black, but because the matchsticks had exaggerated features, it was considered a racist stereotype. Then there's the scene where a pipe cleaner sticks his head into a dirty pipe and emerges in blackface, looking and singing like Cab Calloway, another famous black performer. This scene was originally uncut on Nickelodeon in the early 90s, but was eventually edited out. There's even a short appearance by the Three Stooges, who are seen as 3 cigars during the Little Boys Shouldn't Smoke song and dance number. Nothing controversial here, but next is the shot of Porky tied to a post while an Indian pipe tribe performs a war dance around him while he's tied to a burning pipe. This scene was also cut on the Cartoon Network version. When Porky finally wakes up from his smoke-induced dream state, he runs off to church to sing hymns and then remembers giving the bully his nickel and runs off to get it back. The cartoon ends with Porky stuffing the cigar in the bully's face as he runs back to the church, now with a halo around his head as he sings, "I Will Never Smoke Again." The animation style of Holy Smoke is quintessential of the late 1930s. The characters are drawn with a rubber fluidity, a distinctive hallmark of the early Looney Tunes cartoons. The backgrounds are relatively simple, yet effective, allowing the characters and their actions to take center stage. Mel Blanc brings Porky Pig to life with his distinctive stammering voice, adding a layer of charm and innocence to Porky's character.
How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Hello.
The music in Holy Smoke really deserves a special mention. The score, by Carl W. Stalling, is lively and orchestral, perfectly syncing with the cartoon's action.
Smoke like that and chew some more. Now that we have spoke. Chew and chew and chew, chew. Little boy should not smoke.
From a historical perspective, Holy Smoke is extremely entertaining. It reflects the societal attitudes of the 1930s, especially concerning smoking. While it does show smoking in a negative light, the approach is playful and not too preachy. This subtlety in delivering a message is a testament to the skill of the animators and writers of the time. Despite the emergence of flashier characters, Porky retained a special place in the hearts of Warner's directors, his unassuming nature and gentle persona making him the ideal foil for the likes of Daffy Duck. He continued to headline in his own right, notably in Frank Tashlin's Swooner Crooner in 1944, with The Wearing of the Grin in 1951 marking his final solo appearance in animation's golden era. Porky's signature sign-off became an iconic farewell for Looney Tunes episodes, a mantle he took over in 1937 in the cartoon Rover's Rival.
That's all, folks.
Bugs Bunny occasionally closed out cartoons with his own twist.
And that's the end.
But it was Porky's farewell that left a lasting impression, so much so that Mel Blanc, the legendary voice behind many of these characters, chose to immortalize the phrase on his tombstone in 1989, a testament to its indelible mark on animation history. There's more to Porky's story. If you'd like to see a part 2 to this video, leave a comment below. And if you'd like to know more about the birth of animation and the Warner Brothers story in particular, check out this video right here. This is Rich from Rerun Zone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.